Hmm. All right, all right. What's going on, party people? This your man Griff. All right, I'm gonna try to make this quick, straight to the point, all of that good stuff. Um, there's been a lot of talk for several years about generational wealth. And I had thought about doing a video on it, started, never posted it, got a lot of material on it, but I've been getting questions and stuff, seeing stuff online, people advertising, marketing about generational wealth. NBA basketball players are talking about it, saying how they want to, they rather go for getting the money to have generational wealth rather than um, a championship in some cases. That's what I'm seeing now. So that's ticking off a lot of people because they're like, man, I would love to see that person get a championship, but they're more concerned about the dollars rather than getting a championship. So, hold on, let me just check one thing real quick. Okay, I forgot to do, okay. Yeah, I forgot to do my audio checks, everything. So, looks like, let me bring that microphone just a little bit closer. There we go. All right, looks like everything's good. So, today, I had a real nice meeting with the financial planner. I was there to support her in her financial presentation. She was doing a financial presentation, and some people came, and not a whole lot, not as many as she would like, but some people came. She had actually a one-on-one session with a couple of them, and was able to communicate to them some things that they needed to know. But prior to that, me and her was talking, and I had already been doing some research on this subject. So I figured I'm gonna run it by her and see what she says. And the first thing that she said to me um was and let me hold on, let me do this real quick. All right. Let me do this real quick. I mean, this is really me just coming off the cup, which I tend to do a lot. I got to type this so I can put this on the screen. This is a slogan that I just came up with, and I wanted y'all to see this so y'all can understand the relation to this. Yep, there you go. So, all right. So me and her talked, and I was with her at her last seminar, and she said the shocking thing is that nobody has done anything. She said, I talked to people, but none of them has even done anything, has started the process. And I'm like, I said, I feel you, like I have a process and I'm just now starting it, getting to a point to where I'm saving a certain amount of money. And you got to start somewhere. Okay. You got to start somewhere. Sometimes people just, even if it's just the planning of it and just analyzing your financial situation and where you're at. So basically, she's like, oh man, I got a lot of stuff going on at the same time. Look, this is just me talking, okay? So if you're looking for it to be all formalized and everything, that's not going to happen. All right. So here's the slogan that I came up with. And my man Q is putting it on. I think he's already put it on his T-shirt for me. Probably put it on some cups, mugs, and baseball caps or whatever. So he's already got that done. But this here is something that you need to understand. Generational wealth comes from prior generations' work. Generational wealth comes from prior generations' work. Okay. Now, of course, the normal way people would say it, generational wealth comes from the prior generations' work, but I ain't got time for it. Y'all get what I'm saying. Okay. Y'all get what I'm saying. So, generational wealth comes from, prior generations' work. Hmm. Let me do it this way. All right. So y'all can see generational wealth comes from prior generations work. S. Griffin from Griffin Notary Services. All right. And when you think about this, you can't have generational nothing unless the people prior to you did the work. Here's where the issue comes in at. This is my issue. And I'm not saying you can't go or shouldn't go to a generational wealth, anything, or learn about generational wealth. The number one thing you got to understand before you start getting into, okay, I'm going to have generational wealth is you got to work. Somebody got to do the work. Somebody got to be willing to put in the work to get the generational wealth. And unfortunately, a lot of people are not willing to do that, and in some cases aren't geared to do that. So taking the point case with the notary, if you're unwilling to get up and leave the house for $60 or $100, and you can only get up and leave the house for high dollar amounts, there's no way you're going to ever be able to generate generational wealth, because you're just trying to get to the mountaintop or trying to be on the mountaintop, but you didn't even start in the valley. Okay. And a lot of times the best crops and foods are at the foot of the valley, because the nutrients and minerals from the mountaintop comes down. The mountaintops has those nutrients, but guess what? When it rains or when it snows and the snows melts, it pulls all those nutrients down to the valley, and then you have the most fertile ground down there for growing your crops and everything. That's why a lot of villages are where at the bottom of the mountain. They have a mountain there, and the nutrients from the rain and all of that, rain falls down. If rain goes downhill, you sit up there at the top. Where's the rain? All the rain is down there, and you looking, and everybody down there is prospering, and you're not. So you got to put in the work. You got to start somewhere. And unfortunately, people are not geared and not willing to get started. Okay. There's a video, and it's going, all the links going to be in the description. I'm not going to sit up here and try to do all the videos now. I want to, but I'm not going to show you all the stuff. There's links to videos and other resources in the description. Look that over, because you need to understand generation. You need to understand the generational wealth system. There's a system that protects it, and you need to understand that, because if you just go out and try to get it and you don't understand the system that it needs to flow through, you could end up losing it, or your heirs could end up losing it. Hopefully you'll learn this from these people. I don't know. But here's what I'm trying to get you to understand. If you don't have the ability or the willingness to go out here and do the work now, going to a conference, going to a seminar, going to a meetup that talks about this thing that you don't even know about is not going to do you any good. That you should already be motivated. The people who have generational wealth, or their forefathers who created the generational wealth, already had the motivation, was already motivated to do the jobs that they were doing, to do the businesses that they were doing. Seven of Walmart, Sam Walton's heirs are what? Billionaires, and they're on the Forbes list. And then when they die, it's going to be even more, because they're going to pass that generational wealth down to their kids. And next thing you know, you're going to have a whole cluster of Sam Walton's generation controlling a good portion of the wealth in this nation or in the world. But it started with him doing some work. And he wasn't doing it like, okay, by me doing this, it's going to create. He had an idea. He went with it. Now, are there people who are now doing it like, I'm going to do these things to create generational wealth? Yes. But you still got to understand the generational wealth system. And the first video in the description is going to talk about that, so you can understand the taxes and all of that kind of stuff. But a lot of things you need to know prior to, because going to conferences and all that stuff is good. And I've gone to plenty of them, and they give you a snippet of the information that they've acquired or ascertained, as the fancy word people like to use. But you still don't know all of it. They know 80-90% more than what you know. You know barely a fraction of what they're doing or what they're talking about for yourself. So you still got to go out there and do research to find different ways. Now, what they're doing the research, telling you to come to them so they can charge you some money to get more access to the knowledge that they have. But a lot of the knowledge that they have, you can get it yourself. So, a lot of people they read this book here, Richest Man in Babylon. Excellent book. That's one resource. A lot of people have read Think and Grow Rich. Another excellent resource. A lot of people are reading Grant Cardone's, his book about real estate, how to create wealth in real estate investing. But at the same time, as I always talk to y'all about, you got to have the right mindset. You got to have the right mindset in order to take advantage of the stuff that you're learning. Another great book here, Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. Excellent book, talks about how the culture and all of that and how to cure things that's going on in your financial, life. So it talks about the social, talks about some of everything, follow about about following the majority, all of that kind of stuff. All of that kind of stuff talks about that. Asset Protection by Todd Kuhn. Okay, I keep saying Todd. Who is Todd? There's somebody I know named Todd. That last name Kuhn, I don't know. But Clint Kuhn. Okay, real estate protection, asset protection for real estate investors. This is the kind of stuff that you need to know. And I implore you to go out and learn and get this information. And then when you hear other people talking about the things that you need to do for generational wealth, you'll know whether or not they for real, for real. You will know whether or not they're for real, or they're just trying to feed you a little sprinkling of information and then to get you to pay for more, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that if that's where you're at. But for many of you, you do not have the necessary financial resources to keep paying for the next level and the next level and the next level. And that's something that Eric Thomas talked about. It's like, okay, you talk about, you found the keys to make success and making money, but you keep charging me for it. You won't tell me, just tell me what I need to do in order to get there. And it's like, but no, okay, I have this program and you putting me through this program, through this ringer in order to get me there. And it's like, can you just tell me? That's why, because, and you can't, and I know somebody probably said, well, you got the Notary Success System, but a lot of what I'm teaching, if not all of it, I haven't really looked, probably all of what I'm teaching, you can learn from the videos. The difference is you're doing it face to face and I'm having you do it. You're really getting down and dirty in there and I'm grilling you to be a great loan closer. You can't really learn that by just looking at the videos. You can learn the structure or the frame of it, the skeleton part of it. But when you get with me, you get the meat and bones of it. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, protecting your asset, your number one asset, creating fortunes from your ideas, talking about copyright and protections and all of that. This one here, great book, Money by Tony Robbins, 7 simple steps to financial freedom. All of this here is stuff that you need to read. And if you're not a person who likes to sit there and read while you're driving in the car, throw on Audible. Spend the money, invest that in Audible. That's a great investment. That's my son. That's what you need to do. One of my favorite books here, Millionaire Next Door. Okay. Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko, both of them PhDs. So all of this here, I got this book. I can't remember where I got this book from. So I got to figure this one out. The Vacant House Bank. So I can't even tell you anything about this book. Because I haven't even had a chance to read it yet, and I don't know anything about this book. So I'm gonna have to sit down and read this and figure out what this book is about. But I happen to have it down here. Yeah. Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, excellent book. Another one here, Wealth Choices, Success Stories of Black Millionaires. Matter of fact, same guy wrote this book, Dennis Kimbro. Is it Kim? Yeah, Kimbro. Okay, so big stack of books here. And then as you grow your business, you need to have leadership skills. 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, John C. Maxwell. All of this counts. Now, all of this is to say what? This is what you got to do. This here, you can't just learn from a seminar. You can get sparked. You can get inspired. You can get, motivated, whatever you want to call it. But you really, really, really need to do your part. And if it's not in your heart to do your part, you're going to be paying a lot of people to do your part. Well, I need somebody to do it. So you're trying to be a boss, but you don't know anything. And that's where the biggest problem is now, is that a lot of people are trying to be bosses, but they don't know nothing. So what do you know? I don't know. I just know I pay somebody to do it. Okay, where's your shipping come from? I don't know. I pay somebody to do that. Where's your how do you do your receiving? How do you do your taxes? Well, of course, your taxes, you pay somebody to do that. But how do you go about setting your prices? I don't know. Somebody else did it. So everything in your operation, someone else does, and you just started 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I got you. Y'all thought I was talking about somebody that's been in business for years and decades and stuff. I'm talking about you got people brand new in business, and they already got a whole staff of people doing everything for them, and they know nothing. They just know, I got people doing it. I got people. I got people. I got people. That's what everybody wants to say, or a lot of people want to say. I got somebody. They never want to take responsibility of doing it themselves. Well, I got a seminar to go to. I got a meetup to go to. I got a business mixer to go to. So you go into all of this stuff trying to get information from off of other people, trying to glean off of other people. And that's one of the problems you have right now on Clubhouse, is that so many people are trying to glean, but nobody's trying to learn. They just phone ringing. Making sure that's not. Oh, hold on. That's a client. Hold on 1 second. Hey, what's going on? Okay, cool. I can swing by there because I'm just about finished with something, and I can swing by there in about 20 minutes or so. All right. All right. Right. Glad I answered that. That's title company said they got my check ready. All right. So that's the thing. You're trying to get everybody else to do stuff, but you got to do it yourself. So there's nothing wrong with going to them, but you can gleaning and just like, okay, that's why I don't like that term tips, tricks, and nuggets. Everybody's trying to get the whole thing, get the vein of gold. Stop trying to get tricks. Stop trying to get little somewhat meaningful tips. Figure out the process, the system, and go for it. There we go. Because then that leads you into making up excuses, and to avoid making excuses, you come up with some solid habits. All of this stuff, all of this here stuff is what's going to help you and move you in the right direction. But a lot of people are making excuses why they can't do, because they're trying to worry about doing all this other stuff. So when me and the financial planner lady was talking today, she said that's the biggest issue right now, is that nobody is trying to do anything. Nobody will do anything. So then, so she's like, okay, what are you going to do? What are you trying to do? Okay, I'm just making sure some orders was just coming in. Sorry about that, y'all. Who's this? Where is this? When the heck is that? That's tomorrow. Sorry about this, y'all. I gotta, orders be coming in, and no, that is on the 4th. The 4th. You know what? I might just have to try that one. I might just have to. That's gonna be hard because I can't. I don't think I can get over there in time. Bump it. I'll just say yes. They might already be gone because I think that came in a while ago. We'll see. That's gonna be a hard one. That's gonna be a hard one. Yeah, that came in like 15 minutes ago, and I didn't even see it. But I normally don't go on that side of water at that time. But hey, gotta do what you gotta do. So that's the thing. You gotta be willing to work. And if you're not, you're trying to get somebody else to do it, all of that. You can go to these events to get inspiration, to hear. But what I like to do is I like to go to the events after I've done some research. So what's the topic of the event? What are you trying to teach me to do? Okay. And then I go search it and I research it and I learn some stuff. I listen to some things on books on tape and all of that. And next thing you know, it's like, okay, so when I go in there, I'm not going in there blind. Too many times we go in there blind, not really knowing anything about the subject matter that they're trying to teach us on or expose us to. And then when we hear them, it all sounds great. Every single thing they say, it all sounds great. But then when you get deeper into it, you're like, whoa, this ain't what I thought it was. Well, what did you think? Well, I mean, I didn't think it was this. And what is the this that you didn't think it was? That I got to spend so much money into it. That's really a lot of times what it is, or that it's going to take much longer in order for me to get a return, or in order for me to get a return faster, I got to put more money into it. These are things that you weren't necessarily aware of, which is understandable, but you do have to start doing your due diligence, because here's the thing: people would tell you to follow them because they say, I'm trying to take you somewhere and move you into a place of prosperity. But then when the place of prosperity, when things don't necessarily work out like you think they should, then they say, oh, well, man, look, you didn't have to follow me. You're a grown person. You could have did what you own. You look, I'm just here to share information. You ain't got to do what I do. I mean, I'm just sharing stuff. Nobody make you do this. I'm like, okay, but you told me if I wanted to make money, come follow you. Now that I see that the way you're making money is not something that I want to do or fits with me, now you're telling me, oh, and I say I want my money back. You say, oh, well, man, you look, can't give you money back, but you should have figured that out before you spent it with me. Okay, you told me just to spend it with you. Now it's on me. They always throw it back on you. So this is why I'm saying there's some due diligence things that you have to do. I'm telling you, you don't know these people. These people don't know you. And if you don't do your due diligence to make sure that what they're presenting to you is good, it's going to blow up in your face. I'm telling you now. And the first thing they're going to do is throw the blame on you. They're going to be like, hey, you should have looked into me a little bit more before spending money. You should have investigated a little bit more before swiping that card. So I'm encouraging you to do that. I'm not saying don't go. I'm not saying what they have won't benefit you or won't be valuable to you, because I don't know all of what these people have to offer. But what I do know is the information that they got from, say, Tony Robbins' book that they're sharing with you is only a fraction of their actual understanding. You want to get more of than a fraction of their understanding concerning the 7 simple principles, then what you need to do, you need to read this for yourself. That's what you need to do. Oh, I've been looking for this. There it is. I went through this book a while ago. Okay, so I'm gonna get out of here. There were some other things that I want to talk about. I can't think of them now, and I gotta hit the road. I gotta go down. I think I gotta go down to North Carolina, go get my check, drop that in the bank, and I just did the signing yesterday, so they cut that check quick. And I admit, yeah, that is a good thing with you working with some title companies. You get paid very, very quick and stuff. So that was cool. Plus, she only lives 10 minutes from me and all of that, so no need to put it in the mail. I'll swing by and get it today. But I want you to make sure that you are protected, which you got to protect yourself. As the Wu-Tang Clan song goes, protect your neck. You got to protect yourself from people who may have good intentions, but their ultimate thing is, I need you to pay me for this level of access right here, and then to get a next level, and then the next level, and then another. That's what they want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. The question is, do you understand what you're going into at each level? Which means I was doing good at daggone win got me. Which means you gotta do your due diligence to make sure that at each level you're ready to handle it. You can handle what's being presented to you, and that you can make the necessary commitment. And going all the way back to the beginning of what I said here during this time, if you're unwilling to do the work, if you're unwilling at the notary level to do the work at this level where you're at before you get into trying to be generational wealth guru. If you're unwilling to do the work at your job to get to the management level, if you're unwilling to do the work and sacrifice the guy trips, the girl trips, sometimes the family outing, sometimes you got to stay home for Thanksgiving. Well, I need to be with my family. Okay. But how much is it going to cost you? Well, I mean, that trip is going to always cost about 2-3 grand. That's 2-3 grand you could be putting into your business and all of that. Now, if you've done the work to where you have the money that you can go and it's not going to hurt you financially and your business is still growing up, then by all means do it. And the people who are doing that kind of stuff, they already got their money together. You don't in some cases. So if you don't have your money together where you can do that, then you may need to sacrifice for a couple of years to do that. Your sons or daughters may want to go do sports. You may, okay, sorry. All right, that just came to me, that order. So I got to figure that one out. Your son or daughter may have a sports activity that they do, and you need to have money available, and you can't always do everything. And me and my wife know one son was playing golf, the other one gymnastics, two of the most expensive sports for young gentlemen to be in at the same time. Golf is nowhere near cheap. Gymnastics is nowhere near cheap. And for years, at least 8-10 years, I think, I can't remember the number, my sons played those sports and we funded it ourselves. Okay. There was no scholarships, nothing. We kicked the money out. And there was like, okay, we can't go on vacation. No, we'll catch y'all later. We won't see all this Thanksgiving. We won't see all this other holiday season stuff. None of it. I mean, it was we staying home, we're being with each other, cooking, all of that. Giving presents going to be at a minimum. All of that because we have a bigger goal in play here. We got to work with y'all and help y'all. All of this. If you're not willing to make the necessary sacrifice, which is going to take a sacrifice, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't tell y'all what that sacrifice may be or even help you to navigate it, you're not going to be in a position to create generational wealth if you're unwilling to be the generation that did the work. So I hope y'all learned something from this today. All the links are in the description. I'm gonna try to put the links to the books, and I can get all the books and stuff like that will be in the description or some kind of link. And then look at the video that I put in there and do your own research. Understanding generational wealth. There's tons of websites that break this thing down so you can know. I'm not saying you can't go to those things, but what I'm saying is if you have access to the same information that I got, that they have, then you can figure this out yourself and save you some money. All right. Talk to y'all later.